Today we're talking about the greatest scam in the modern world. And I truly, genuinely believe that. There's layers to this scam. The McDonald's McMillions.
I personally feel defrauded from my childhood.
This was worse than finding out that Santa Claus wasn't real. Finding out that the McDonald's Monopoly game was all one gigantic mafia scam was one of the most disheartening and honestly, important lessons to learn. Like, nothing is pure. Nothing is real. Nobody's innocent. Cash rules, and the world is a terrible, dark place where people will do anything for money and power. The reason why we're talking about it today, after we did the Dyatlov Pass episode last week, we got a million ideas for other, true crime stories or just intriguing mysteries and scandals, which we will get into all of them. But I figured the timing is perfect to do the McDonald's Monopoly scandal because there's multiple pieces of content coming out based on this story. First up is the HBO documentary, 6 parts called McMillions, that breaks down this whole scam. Also, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are doing a movie, like a full-blown movie on this scam. They're doing like a fictional movie, not fictional, but like a scripted movie, and HBO is doing this documentary breaking down the story of Jerry Jacobson, who was running security for the marketing firm, Simon Marketing, who was responsible for the Monopoly game. So they were printing the pieces and distributing them to factories and McDonald's franchises, and they were responsible for that game running. Jerry Jacobson was an ex-cop, and he was all, very dark, seedy dude involved with mobsters and psychics and strip club owners.
So, like,
a weird Mormon family.
Number one.
Yeah, I mean, he was hiding in plain sight if he was rubbing elbows with Mormons and titty bar owners, But dude ran a scam from the McDonald's game ran from 87 to 2001.
I did not remember.
Which is crazy
that
it lasted that long, right? Yeah. I mean, I remember from my childhood, but 2001, I was, we had moved several times. I was living back in New York. I was a teenager. 9/11 had happened. I mean, the fact that you could play the McDonald's Monopoly when 9/11 was going on, what?
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea. But it turns out that that game, which was already, flat out like trying to win Powerball, was also even worse than that because it was completely rigged by a crooked ex-cop who went to extreme lengths to make sure that this went all his way. I don't want to get too deep into all the details because it's a long, long story, and obviously the documentary is coming out, and I'll cover all that. But what I found so interesting was this guy figured out a classic embezzlement scam. Sort of like, hey, I'll give you the piece to win $200,000, but your first installment of $50,000 that goes to me. Which is smart. He obviously ends up getting caught, so he wasn't too smart. But if you had access to the pieces, how tempting would it be to just be like, I won the million?
Yeah.
I got Boardwalk, I got Park Place.
But
let's
I mean,
go.
that has to be a huge red flag.
That's too much of a red flag.
A lot of times they say that you can't even, if you work for a company running a contest or know someone closely, you are excluded from it.
Right. Well,
so
that's
he
why
probably was not allowed to even play.
So he
couldn't even get a McFlurry.
He hooked up with a butcher in Maryland who was supposed to give it to his cousin, and that way there's too many degrees of separation to be suspicious, and he gets the first installment. These guys he was working with, though, were all scumbags themselves, so they start to break the rules. They start to get sloppy, and
what do you do? You
this
get
thing
that
became
game piece,
unraveled.
you cash it in, and you'd be like, okay, so when you get that first check, just send it to me. And be like,
what if they don't?
Sure, buddy.
Yeah.
No problem.
I promise.
20 years of $50,000 installments. See you later.
But all I know is that Monopoly, the game itself, and then Monopoly, the McDonald's version, is one of the most intoxicating, nostalgic, awesome things from my childhood, from my life. And what's funny is that, Monopoly is the game of greed, right? It's right. Don't overextend yourself. You got to play your cards right, handle your business and your money correctly. And the fact that it was tied to one of the greatest, most intricate scams over the course of the better part of 2 decades. I believe the final number was this guy embezzled or stole or manipulated $24 million worth of prizes.
How do you not get caught, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
But he seemed
embezzle $1 million and then get the fuck out of there.
Well, what's interesting too is but the only reason he did get caught was an informant tip.
Yeah, but if you're just not doing it that much, you're not gonna get tipped on. Like
but
it's
you know what I
when
mean.
you just
but
keep doing it and you screw over more people.
Yes.
And, you know.
But the fact that like if nobody picks up that phone, like
if
who
he
knows?
quit maybe a day before,
maybe
he gets
before
away
he
with
pissed
$24
off that
million.
last person.
Right.
You know, he probably could have got away with $23 million worth of embezzlement, but the $1 million he did with the butcher or whoever was pissed off, and that guy calls up and snitches, and it all unravels. That's some dirty shit. Whoever snitched, man, like this is the greatest scam ever sold. And he was like this close to getting away with it, and all was just because of one fucking snitch whistleblower who ruined. But I'm also happy, like we would have never known. Now I'm happy that we have this story. This documentary is probably going to be awesome. The movie will probably be great. We can talk about it here. But I also would have loved to know, like, that deep down, like, this guy got away with the greatest scam ever.
I mean, just think about what scams might be going on. I would never have suspected McDonald's and the Monopoly game as being this giant conspiracy.
That's why it was kind of perfect.
Things...
It was so much. If you weren't around, if you weren't like old enough for this, it was like full blown hysteria. And I mean, they said it was the greatest marketing device since the Happy Meal for McDonald's. Like it changed for McDonald's to be like, this was incredible like for our business.
Damn, we're selling a lot of fries.
Yeah, like McDonald's doesn't need fucking marketing. They don't need commercials. They don't need promotional devices. But this one was so good that they were like, holy shit. I mean, you wonder, like, to me, it's like the French fries, where and the food itself is what dominates. But like, who knows? Maybe McDonald's like dropped the hammer on Burger King and their fellow competitors because of Mr. Monopoly.
I was gonna say I'm not positive if it was like the difference maker. We're like, oh, what do you want for lunch? Well, why don't we go get some McDonald's game pieces? It was kind of like, we're gonna go to McDonald's because we're addicted to the burgers and fries.
But there's an extra bonus.
Let's see if we can win $1 million too.
You know, it's
and oh man, when you would peel off and you would get, I think you would get
Park Place,
but
not Boardwalk, yeah.
And you'd be like, yo. I'm halfway there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone else would hold out their Park Place
and
be like, yeah,
got it.
Me too. That one I think was probably the most common piece.
Yeah,
definitely. And I think they said there was something like there was like 10 boardwalks.
Yeah, like countrywide. That's it.
And see, now I always thought, like, what if some soccer mom forgot that those things were on there and she threw away the one that had boardwalk?
Then it's like
that didn't happen.
This guy was
Jerry
stealing
Jacobson had
well, the one tale of this one guy who won the $1 million was that he was on the beach and he was reading People magazine, because these things were on. They were on your food. They were on your.
Right,
you know what? It's crazy to me that like there might not. There's probably some kids who did not play this game. Mm-hmm. There might be kids who like literally don't even know Monopoly. Like, do people still play Monopoly? There was a lot of cool shit that McDonald's was doing, but the Monopoly obviously trumped all of it. And so, I mean, you had a board, like a cutout from a magazine with the game board on it, and you would like lick the pieces and stick it and try to collect them all. And like lo and behold, you would have 2 of every single fucking property, but the third one would be missing, the fourth railroad would be missing, the second boardwalk would be missing. Again, there's so many details and so many people involved in it that allowed him to get this done. But the most incredible thing, the informant tip is the only reason it unraveled. But the best part of the whole story, the only reason why it became truly possible to scam this, is Jerry Jacobson was accidentally mailed the envelope or envelope. How do you say it? Envelope. Sometimes I slip in and out. Sometimes I'll say envelope.
Just like in normal conversation?
Yeah, it's weird, though, because it's clearly envelope. But sometimes it's just envelope will slip out. I'll probably do it here. But he was sent the envelope sealant by accident. So they used to take all the game-winning pieces, put it in some sort of envelope, and seal it shut so that it would obviously be known if it was ripped open. But this guy got his hands on the sealer. So he was able to take out all the game-winning pieces, put in losing ones, seal it with this special glue, sticker, tape, whatever it may be. Looks like it was never tampered with. All by accident. Or at least he claims,
right,
you know?
I was gonna say.
Like it falls off a truck or somebody sends it to you or whatever it may be. But, I mean, down to, like, the literal, like, the glue that you needed to have, this guy had it all and was able to distribute the game-winning pieces. And honestly, I think was pretty smart about it. Just $50K here, $50K there. Probably got, you know, decently rich. It's kind of, if there was $24 million in prizes and he was getting cuts of it, probably got like a couple million, and I'm sure, he ended up going to jail, and I'm sure it wasn't worth the money, but goddamn, it's worth being that guy.
It's just crazy that people do this, but I guess it's not when you're like the type of guy who comes from he was like a strip club casino pit boss manager where everything is always a scam.
Yeah.
Where you're like, well, yeah, I'm just gonna scam this. Just like I take a little off the top here at this casino.
He was probably like, listen, I'm not like breaking anybody's kneecaps. I'm not killing anybody. This is the most legal thing I do.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. He probably justifies it's like somebody's gonna get that piece. Why not someone I choose? And why don't I benefit from it?
Right.
But
It's like there's still an American winner eating
it's
McDonald's
like
out there.
stealing signs too. It's like Joey Core's down there. Why? I mean, hey, why not?
It's like
we gotta
insider
get
trading,
these hits, man.
It's like I kind of feel like these things should be legal. Now the other side of me is like, you motherfucker, like I maybe could have won. Maybe I could have got. I feel like I won like a Big Mac. I feel like I won like little things here and there.
I was
but I
disappointed
never
even
won.
when you really heard like how few
Yeah.
winning pieces
You were like,
there
oh,
even
this is impossible.
It was like, it's like you were excited to go and get a piece, and you were excited when you always got the really common one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like this is like getting 4 out of 6 lottery numbers. It's like you felt really
happens
close
all the time, but
you really
there
weren't.
was a 1 in 250 million chance of getting the instant win million. There was 1 in 150 million of getting the short line railroad, and in reality, there was a 0 in 250 million chance, which is like not that big of a difference. You know what I mean? Like Jerry Jacobson, he lowered your chances from 0.0001% to 0.000%. Are we really gonna like send the guy to jail for life over that? Like free Jerry Jacobson, bro.